Hey fellows, welcome back to the Coffee Pass channel. Okay, so first of all, if you missed my most recent videos where I explain how we can take in advance the ACF to create custom plugins, reach the link on the description box below. So today we're going to start a new playlist in the channel called How To. And in these videos, you will find short videos explaining how we can create some customization for our WordPress projects. In the first video, I will show how we can create and add custom book actions to our post lists and perform custom actions. You can find the complete code on my GitHub and the link is also on the description box below. I am Donini and I'll be your host. Okay, our main goal today is to add a new action inside this drop down here, this HTML drop down here, where we can, for example, select some posts and trigger some action direct to these posts. Okay, so I will go to my VS Code. I will create a new file here, call it, let me see, class cp bulk action.php. And now we can start our class following the patterns. The name of the class is bulk action. Okay, as always, I will start building a constructor to put our hooks inside of it. Constructor. Perfect. And now we can start building the proper code, which in this case, we need to create a new callback function for the hook book actions edit post, which in our case, my idea is to show this new action only on the posts page, the post list page. And it's very simple to add this new item inside the bulk actions array. So let's create our first function. I am thinking in what is the coolest idea or the most simple way to show to you the proper use of this bulk action. So I will try to put something like an action to send an email to the author to that post. Okay, so we can call this function like send by email bulk action. Awesome. And then this hook needs to have receiving the bulk actions array to manipulate this new item that we need to add. So I create a new variable called bulk actions, and then we can treat proper this array. And now I can add my new item. I can call this like something like send by email. And then I can proper translate the term send by email. I will define my text domain as the same, send by email. And then we need to just return this variable here with the new value. Perfect. So now let's add the proper hook, the proper filter on the constructor. We need to register the filter, call it bulk actions, edit post, because if you remember, our idea is to show this new book action only on the post list. So if you want to show this in the page list, you just need to change this, the final path of or hook to the desired custom post that you are trying to show this new action. And now I'll add this into our class, and I'll pass our function here. Okay, perfect. We need to add this file as well on our project. So I'm using the first project we had created, the message system. I will save this here, and of course we need to instance this class. So I will just copy and paste this code here to initialize our class. And then we just need to call our class, which in this case is, whoops, okay, so now let's see if our book action is here. Refresh the page, and here we are. Till now, this book action is doing nothing, so we need to add our custom action for this book action. And I was thinking in send an email for someone. So to do this, again, we need to create a new function, a new callback function that will do this action and call this callback function in some hook that we'll add over in the constructor. So let's start a new function here, send by email book action handler. Perfect. And this hook, this filter has 3 parameters that we can use and handle inside this function. The first one is the redirect URL. And the second one is the action that we are receiving inside this function. And the last one is the ID of the posts that we are sending to this function. Okay, so the first thing is that we need to test if the action that is coming here is different than the action that we define here. If yes, we just let it go and the WordPress will handle the rest. Okay, if not, so we need to create our own loop, and it's not a for, it's a for each. Perfect. So we can handle our own loop. So we need to handle all these post IDs. We call this other variable like post ID. And then if you want to send an email to the author of the post, we need to get the post information and the author email. So once we have the post ID here, we can load the post directly on using the get post function, post ID. And then once we have the posts, we have the ID, the author ID. So we can create a new function here called post author, and then we can get the use the function get the author meta to get our desired meta, which in this case is the user email. And of course we need to send the post the author ID post author. Perfect. So now we have our post and our post author. Let's imagine that we want to put inside the message of this email the title and the link of the post. So we need to get the title as well. Now we use the variable post, and then we can get the post title or variable, and then we can get, of course, the link of the post. And to do this, I will use the simple get permalink function of WordPress and just send the post ID. Perfect. Now we have loaded inside our variables all the information that we need to build our message for our own email. So I will start creating some other variables here, like the to is the post author email, and the subject of the email subject is, let's imagine that the user wants to review the post, so you call this like a post review. And then we need to figure the message that we are sending. The message is something like, please review this post. And then I will put the link of the post. And of course the title of the post. But it's too much fashion if you use the string format function of PHP. Is printf and perform these variables inside of this. So let's pass here the link and here the title, and we just need to close the tag. Here is the post link and then the post title. Perfect. Okay, and the last thing is our headers. So I like to use the proper headers in the case that I send my emails using the WP mail. So the proper header is the content type text HTML, and the char set is equal to UTF-8. And that's it. Now let's call our function WP-mail and send the to the subject, the message, and the headers. In this case, we don't have attachments. Perfect, that's it. So now we just need to add our callback function directly on the proper filter. So let's add a new filter here and call our function. It's handle book actions edit post, and like this, the first hook we need to pass the array of our class, and then the name of our function. Perfect. So now we add a new action directly on the dropdown, and then we create the proper action for this new item that we put in the dropdown. So if we go back here to the browser and try to run this, probably the message will be sent, but we don't see nothing here. And to solve this situation for the final user, the best idea is to show some message, some alert on the front end for the final user. So let's go back to the code and create and add a new action through this code. The action that we are using right now is a common action through the admin to the dashboard part called admin notice. So let's create a new function called send by email action admin notice. And inside of this function, we just need to test a few things. For example, we need to test if the parameter that we are sending on the carry string called book and mailed posts are coming. So let's test if it's not empty. And let's get this from the request. Okay. And now we can show a few things. For example, we know the size or how much emails that we send for these posts, because we are counting here and sending over the carry string of the browser. So let's get this number. I call this function, this variable, call it emailed count, and I will get this result, and of course I will convert this to int val. Okay, and then we can print the message on the browser. Let's see what is the best approach in this case. I will use a simple parameters, simple HTML structure for show a message on the front end, because I remember the code. So I have this code on my head, and we need to set an ID, and the ID needs to be message. Okay, so let's concat this with the function of WordPress that can handle the numbers and the plurals. So let's do this. Email the number of posts in the first part is the singular, and on the second part we need to set the plural. Mail the number of posts and the posts with the plural. Okay, now we need to pass, of course, the total of posts, and then we just need to send the text domain of our project. Perfect. Let's just concat here the closing div, and of course send the email content to solve this count. Perfect. So now let's add the proper action, the name of this action, like I said, is admin notice. We just need to send our class here inside this array, like in the other hooks, and then pass the number of our callback function. So now let's see the final code if everything is working fine. I will select just one post and hint the send mail. Here is the message for the users. So in this case, we just select one post. Let's see what's happened when we select both posts. So I try to send again. And there we are. So we send the two messages for these users. This function is very useful when we are trying to customize our lists inside our projects. So this is why I choose this topic to show to you this week. I hope that you like it. Okay, so as always, let in the comments down below if you have any ideas about how we can improve this code, even for the new topic ideas to the next videos. Let's build this channel together. And don't forget to keep me motivated in creating new videos, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.